right now, and we're going to talk about pinball. Well, pinball is wonderful. Everybody loves pinball. I got my first pinball when I was 11 years old, the Alpine Club. You saw the episode where we showed my first pinball machine. And you don't see pinballs all over the place anymore. And for very good reason. You can't spend enough money in an arcade playing pinball to justify the square footage that it's taking up and the amount of maintenance that it's going to require. Maintenance from the guy who's got to come over and fix it, even if it's a stuck ball, or some parts that blew up and they got to take it apart and they got to stock the parts and they got to put it in there. This is time. Time is money. People are working today getting big money. The kid standing there making change wants $20 an hour. What do you think the mechanic is getting? 30, 40? You got to have somebody on shift? I mean, mechanics are highly paid anywhere you go, except here, because I'm the mechanic. And I work for free because I'm a schnook. I work for free because it's my place and this is what I do. And as long as I'm around, things will keep going. But when I'm gone, static display time, you know that's coming. So, somebody was talking about my haunted house pinball. Well, they had to pick a rather complicated machine to talk about. And haunted house, as far as they go, is kind of a complicated machine. Oh, he thinks that's a complicated machine? You should see the machines they make today. Look, I know machines have become increasingly involved. Why? To keep people's players' interest, to keep the interest of the nerd who has to have some newfangled thing at home and he's got a lot of money and he can pay $15,000 for the next new machine to have in his house. Okay, there are people who are in all realms of it, but they went from a board with nails on it to increasingly more sophisticated designs and intricate technologies. Haunted House is from 1980. You know, I mean, this is 2023, so it's 40 years ago, right? So I always hate doing this type of thing before I open the arcade because ultimately something can happen and then I'm screwed because what am I going to do before it happens? These glasses have gotten bigger in their day. Notice the size of the glass of soccer compared to the haunted house. It's wider, it's longer, it's heavier, and it's more apt to bust into a million pieces when I try to take it out. So I'm gonna move this air blower so I have more room, and I'm going to open the haunted house. Glass slides nicely. And I gotta be careful not to pull on any corners. Look at the pressure I'm putting on it. While I've got the playfield off, I'm gonna fix this little piece of plastic that has come off the scorecard. And I'm gonna fix this cap on the bumper, which has popped off because of being used. See, now he's back in there. Look, that's not an original bumper cap. How dare he? No, it's not. That's from the black hole. Excuse me. So it was missing a bumper cap. It fell off. The tabs broke, so I stuck one on. Heaven forbid. Execution at dawn. So the haunted house is a multiple level game. The black hole came out first. The black hole had the same trapezoid here, but it was in blue. And the ball would go down and you played in the lower level, and then the ball would come back up again, you played on the upper level. Well, it was difficult to get the ball to get down there on the back of the hole because of the design of the machine. As I remember, you had to shoot it up the left, go through a rollover target, had to go all the way up and then go down and go down to the bottom. You played it, you'd lose it in 2 seconds because you weren't used to it, and the machine would kick it up. And that coil that would kick it up was always overrated. It was, or should I say underrated actually. It was overpowered. They were really jolting it to get a good hit on that ball to get it from down below. And they used to burn and it'd be a problem. They'd blow the transistors and the triacs. And what a pain, what a pain. They improved it a little bit on the haunted house, but I haven't had a problem, but they're still, you know, subjected. So on the haunted house, we also added an upper level. So the ball can go on the upper level and it can go downstairs into the lower level. Well, how do you get down there? Very easy. When you shoot the ball, it's going to go into one of 3 holes. If it goes in the middle hole, it's going to come down to the main playfield. If it goes in the left hole, it's going to go downstairs. Very simple. It goes in the right hole. It kicks it up, and it's right there. And then from upstairs, it can fall down this tube and go downstairs. And there's also other little hidden ways to go downstairs. Look, here's a trap door when lit. If you get it lit and you go down here, this door will flop down. The ball going around will fall down into the bottom. Or the secret passage. The ball rolls in and it goes down into the hole. How about that for tricky? The ball kicks up back here. And it works usually pretty well. So, for all this fun stuff, there's got to be a lot of fun stuff underneath it. Oh, geez, it's heavy. Oh, I'm trying to get the ball so it doesn't go flying. Got the ball. Okay. Oh, oh. Of course, we got machines right against the wall here. I'm really wedging that in. That's not good, because I got this animal above it that I don't want to take the animal down. I can't get it up any higher. Okay. This is the underneath of the haunted house. Lots of good stuff. Look, he's got a display unplugged. Look, look. That's correct. My display here is shorting. So to keep the other displays alive, I unplugged it. It is a scoring that shows the lower level score. It's not necessary. I don't have time right now to change the display. Well, you could do it while the machine's open, but I didn't expect to do this today. So I don't have one sitting here. So it'll stay like that until I get around to it. Thank you. So the lower level is always nice. The ball drops down here. It has the plastic piece. Well, why does it have a plastic piece? Because they learned from the black hole that when these flippers shoot the ball, a lot of times on a small playfield, the ball would go over the top of the playfield, the machine's out of service. The ball would fall down in the bottom somewhere, and you're gone, you're done. So they put this plastic so that the ball can't easily come out from under the machine. See, they think of things all the time. Even this should have screws. How come he doesn't have screws in there? Because I have to service it, and I don't like taking screws out all the time. So we can lift up our mini playfield, and we can work on that also. See how simple, see how easy? You have still your original capacitors. Look at that. He never changed those capacitors because they still work. That's correct. Well, what is that jump line he's got there? What is that? Well, because I had to jump out a ground line. So I'm grabbing a ground here, giving it a perfectly good ground on my own, because I know what I'm doing. Look at that. Look, there's a switching power supply down there. That's correct. I'm boosting some power in secret spots that I'm not gonna tell you, which makes mine special. Yes, kiddies, we have an extra soundboard. Oh, you know how much they're worth? They're worth a lot of money. Now, can I use this in here? I can, but this is probably not a soundboard for haunted house. I'd have to look it up. 669, sound 1, sound 2. I have them on the side, okay? They're not in the right spots. These are the personality chips that make the sounds for this board. This could be Volcano, I would be guessing, but it's in here right now in case I need to switch it, because those soundboards are notorious. Why are those soundboards notorious? There's many reasons. One of the reasons is right here. This IC is an amplification IC for the sound, and it's got this big heat sink on it because they get hot and they burn, and then you don't have sound anymore, and they're a pain in the neck. This has already been changed, as you can see, probably by me, and that's nice and tight on there. But they do have problems, those System 80 soundboards. Well, wait a minute. Why does he have tissue over here? Look, he's got tissue. I've got tissue around my tilt unit. You see that? because I don't want people to tilt too easily playing the haunted house, because I know the ball will typically get stuck in spots that is going to require you to shake it a decent amount. And therefore, I'd be constantly coming over because they tilted the machine. We're gonna lower down our hood on our top, make sure everything is clear and the wires are not gonna pinch. And down we go. Hopefully it'll still work after I just yanked everything apart. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I love that sound. The music is perfect. But wait a minute. I didn't get a ball. Maybe my solenoids aren't working. What happened? It's in my hand, remember? I took it out so it didn't go flying in the bottom of the machine. All right. Upper flippers, lower flippers. Up, we're going upstairs. Look at that, upstairs. Oh, downstairs. Oh, that was an amateur mistake. I'm gonna, I wanted it to go downstairs for you. We're gonna let it go downstairs. There we are, downstairs. Ooh, that was a good hit, right downstairs. Look at I'm going to get the extra ball because I love that music. Ready? Music to my ears. Oh, I went down the trap. Did you see the secret passage? I went down the secret passage. You missed it, didn't you? All right, I'm going to come back up again. I'll show you the secret passage. Secret passage. Down it goes. Now, you know what? Haunted house pinballs are notorious for not switching on the lower level when they're supposed to. Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. Usually switch adjustment. But when it does switch to lower level, notice something. When I use my upper flipper button, see there's two flipper buttons on the side here? We have two flipper buttons on each side. The one button is the main field, the other one is the upper field. See that? So you got to go back and forth. But what about the lower field? See those flippers down there? Look, they're not moving. The upper levels are moving, not the lower levels. So what happens is when it switches to lower level, the machine will turn on the current for the lower level flippers. So if I go down the hole here, it lights it up, now I can use my flippers. Turn them off again. But did you notice the flippers are parallel with the top flippers? Watch again. Top flippers, now the bottom flippers go together with the top and the bottom. Well, that's done because of load factors. The load factors, because there's two flippers down there, two flippers up here. So you have two flippers on the left side on the same current line, two flippers on the right side on the same current line. On the main playfield, I'm already running 2 flippers on the left, 2 flippers on the right. To run 3 flippers on the same line would be a very large draw on the contacts, and you would be burning them up. So they switch the lower field on and off with the top field. But interestingly enough, and I gotta open this again, I got the ball in my hand. Interestingly enough, there's a relay bank over here. Good old-fashioned relays, that's right. I love them because they work and they work and they work and they don't burn up on you, and they're fabulous. Well, they do burn up sometimes. Those relays will switch the current and turn on those lower flippers from the upper level and connect it with the bottom. So if your lower level flippers are not working when it goes down, check if the relay is switching on. If it's on, your contacts might need to be burnished because they char somewhat. If they're not good and tight, they'll char with the arcing of those flippers. And if they arc, they'll burn the contacts, and that's how you're not getting power down to the lower level. So you learned your tip for the day. Is check your relays. If there's one thing I know, I thought he disconnected the tilt. I didn't disconnect the slam switch. So I just matched even after I slammed it. I got a 70 and a 70. I got a free game. Hooray! So now I got to remember to put the ball back in the machine so I can put the glass back on the machine. And you're always risking. Now notice, keep your hands at least towards the middle to get some of the pressure off the weight of the front of the glass. Get it in properly. Make sure you're straight and slide it in easily. Do not force it. Otherwise you'll have glass all over the place. And they are tempered, so they make a really big mess when they break into 1,000,000 pieces, go all inside your machine, underneath all kinds of spots. You'll be picking glass out for the rest of your life. So, a few people play. How come he doesn't have the real cash box in there? I don't know where it is. Yes, I have others, but I don't want to use somebody else's cash box from another machine in my haunted house. I don't know where I put it. I probably used it for some parts or something somewheres. I'll find it someday. Look, he's not even using a padlock on his hasp. No, it's a bolt. And it's just there to hold it on there. Nobody's going to steal it. I'm here, and it's got a lock on it. I don't even need the hasp. So, you see, all these things play in my head, all these questions and these answers, and they're all rolling around. And I know all the answers. I don't even think about them anymore because I'm usually half asleep and I'm walking just like a haunted house. I'm walking like a zombie because I'm usually not getting any sleep because I'm over here day and night running the retro arcade, and it's fun. It's still fun. I'm doing this, I'm in this business for 44 years, almost 45, and I was a kid playing before that. So I'm a lifer, I've accepted it, I enjoy it. It's not work when you're having fun. And yes, it's still fun. You see? Pinball, games, fascination, artifacts, music, it's fun. And that's what you should be doing with your life. You should be having fun. So, did you learn something today? I hope so, because I'm losing my throat already doing all these episodes, and soon it will be time to open. So I'm going to say adieu, sweet adieu, from the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. We'll see you next time. Bye!